back to the Portable Podcast, and you're watching The Sly Guy, The Sly Guy, and The Sly Guy. Have it come true? All the hurt that happened to you, it matters. Black Lives Matter. Pain of bitter defeat, little race with bitter and sweet. It matters. It matters. Who's like the sun ablaze? The one who stopped the storm and walked the waves. Took the tree so he could say, you matter, you matter. This is fair. It matters. For your treasure. Laughter, sun ablaze. What? Weapon expired? Situation. Stone and walked away. The trees so we can say, you matter. You know you matter. You matter. Cause you matter. Oh yeah. You matter. Black Lives Matter. African American people in the US. This message goes out to you after a very emotional funeral of George Floyd in Minnesota. Man, that pastor speech really moved me. Really did actually move everyone. So now that justice has been done, all 4 cops have been charged with second-degree murder. And we hope that that happens, that justice is also given to the other victims that we all love. Okay, man, that's in the US. Everything good, everything fine. Just hope everybody social distances, everybody stays home, stay safe. Now we move on to the Philippines. There's a brand new bill which has just been passed, known as the Anti-Terrorism Law. Okay, this law is was designed to get rid of terrorists, because what has been happening all throughout the years is terrorist groups in Malaysia and in Indonesia have been going to the Philippines, recruiting members, training terrorists, because compared to Malaysia and Indonesia and other countries, our anti-terrorism laws are so weak. These are like the weakest laws ever. So what our government needs to do is to make sure that we are able to prevent terrorism from happening. And there we go. Whenever all of the internet slowness. And now that brings you to the communist woke kids. I have no idea why these people think that the cops or the police, the authorities, are going to abuse this law. They're thinking, hey, you know what? There's no, there's actually no guidelines to this bill. They can arrest you, they can arrest me, they can say I'm a terrorist, you're a terrorist, they're gonna arrest everyone in the Philippines. Yeah, they're gonna arrest all 100 million people just because they feel like it. What? Okay, number one, You're not as important as you think you are, so whatever you post on Facebook won't be noted as dangerous to the police unless you threaten to kill someone like the president, just like what two people did when they launched a bounty, or they posted a bounty of 50 million pesos to whoever can have President Duterte killed. And honestly, if you do that in Malaysia or in Indonesia, I guarantee you, you guys are going to get executed on the spot. No questions asked. Because you are a threat to national security and to that country's ruling president. Now, another thing to look at the actual law is that they do actually have guidelines if you read it. CNN posted those guidelines to anyone caught abusing it. They also defined what a terrorist is, who a terrorist is. And this was designed to make our country safer. What I don't actually get is that when they had laws made against drug addicts, they said, no, protect the drug addicts, they have rights. When they had laws to lower the age of criminal liability. And you've had children, because of there were syndicates using children to mug people, to rob people in broad daylight, to steal from them. They all went to the defense of the criminals, and when the police start dying because of it, they're just silent. When soldiers start dying, they're just silent. And I do believe the reason why you've got a media that's demonizing our policemen, demonizing our soldiers who keep us safe, demonizing our president who just wants to make our country drug-free, is simply because, one, drug dealers, drug lords have a lot of money. Two, these people used to be able to buy the police. So they used to be able to bribe the police. They used to be able to give the police money so that they could continue with their illegal business practices, like operating multiple channels with just one franchise, not paying the correct taxes, having a foreign-owned media company like Rappler, ABS-CBN. Anyone? So a lot of things, basically. Which is why they, since they could no longer buy the police, since they no longer had a puppet president, they wanted to destroy the reputation of a police and a president. Which failed, because people now, ever since Duterte became president, the people see the police differently. The police we had here before, they were very corrupted. They'd protect criminals. Now they won't, which is why now the criminals are mad at them. So they have these demolition jobs to destroy the police. So basically, the law is good for the Philippines, actually. And I definitely support it, because if you're not a terrorist, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to hide, then why worry about that law? So if you guys like to go ahead and protest, go out, right, feel like you're a bunch of woke kids, go ahead. But in reality, you guys know nothing. I mean, what logic is that? Siding with terrorists just because you hate the president? And then eventually joining a militant group like the KMU or Kabayan or whatever their name is, and then eventually joining the NPA. And as members of the NPA, you're going to collect revolutionary tax from companies which are outside Metro Manila, and if they don't pay you, you burn their businesses down. I mean, that's the type of people you are. I had to say. The reason why you hate the law is because you are terrorists. You eventually plan to become terrorists. Right? Which is why you're so worried, which is why you're so tense, which is why you're so against it. And I personally want nothing to do with terrorists like you. Now, you might think, oh, I'm gonna keep posting it and guys are gonna argue. Oh, no, I'm not gonna argue with you. Once that law's passed, I'm reporting you guys. I'm gonna go straight to the NBI. I'm reporting you. I'm gonna show them your post. You guys go to jail. It's as simple as that. It's just as simple as that, man. Just like that. Justice will definitely be served. And once we have that law, once that law is definitely enacted, this country will be a much safer place. A much better and much safer place. Under the protection of our ever-loving Philippine National Police, staff troopers, and the Philippine Army. Boom. Kaboom!
I'll take a quick break, I promise. I don't want to drag this out for you. I know you don't want to talk about this. I know it's hard, and I appreciate it, but people need to understand who he was. We got so much bias and stuff to strip away from people so they can just see it for what it was. So, Counselor...
and there we go.
Yes, thank you, Chris. All right, thank you. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is a perspective we have not heard, and right now is this case...
So it's not just about
it's one that we need. Please, stay with us.
Staying woke just for the sake of staying woke, going against the government just for the sake of going against the government, because man, the way you keep people think, just unbelievable. Oh, and by the way, I saw another funny post. There was this guy who was actually pro anti-terrorism bill, pro government, who had know what it's called, a timeline or a sticker, I guess, like a badge cover, and he had Rage Against the Machine in it, and the guys are saying, hey, why does he listen to Rage Against the Machine when he's pro-government? If you listen to Rage Against the Machine, you're supposed to be anti-government. One, if you bought the cassette or the actual CD of Rage Against the Machine, there's nothing in that cover that specifically states that you have to be anti-establishment. I mean, I could wear dreadlocks or a mohawk, and I can probably listen to Zendaya, or I can listen to Pink or Aqua. I mean, it doesn't matter. You listen to music because of your taste in music, not the ideology, not anything. Just because you listen to Slayer doesn't mean that you have to worship Satan or something. And another way, if you truly knew Rage Against the Machine, their audio slave now, their vocalist Zach De La Rocha, sold out. I mean, he has this anti-establishment party, and if you really listen to the music, it's anti-South American government. He speaks against South Americans, and most of his songs write about like poor people working in haciendas. Hacienda Luisita, sound familiar? Leftist woke people. Okay, so a little do you know, you listen to Rage Against the Machine and then you support politicians who have haciendas. Sound familiar? Okay, just saying. Because since you obviously feel that you know like what you're talking about, then by all means go, but obviously you don't. So whoever had that Rage Against the Machine picture on his account, man, and you're pro-government, yeah, that's okay, totally fine, man. Nothing but respect. Because you were probably anti-government before when Pinoy was president. So when you listen to Rage Against the Machine, you rap their music until eventually a better President Duterte came along. So yes, to the anti-terrorist bill. And all you terrorists, my suggestion is get out of Metro Manila. We don't need you here. Just get out of Metro Manila, fly to some terrorist-ridden country. Or if you guys really want to protest, you can go to the US right now. Just go there and you can join the looters or something, since you guys like to terrorize people with your terroristic ways. Then just don't go back to the Philippines. We're better off without you. Once again, this is Sly Guy with Portable Podcast signing out. See you guys again tomorrow.